new ideas. Now, I want them to be stuff that people have never heard of. That's very unusual sounding, but it's exciting because when you are concerned about the way the world is and you want answers, the only solution is new knowledge. And so it's not to be underestimated. That's what got us the various inventions that make our lives comfortable. It's a lot of it's mechanical. I think there's been so these are really new ideas. Starting off with new ideas. Starting off with the invention of Goddess V. Goddess V is the idea of worshiping the vulva more than anything else. More than men's genitals, women's breasts, more than people getting all into like animals and nature or electronics and cars and pets and all that stuff. Like putting that at a secondary tier to make room for Goddess V. And so that's concept number one. Number two is a complement to that, which is the way to remove a sense of stop wanting to compare each other, like and then envy of other people's lives, is to again worship Goddess V, because it makes it so even if you, whatever the size of your sexual features is, whether penis or breasts or otherwise, or how big of a lifestyle that you live, it's inconsequential compared to Goddess V. And that doesn't mean to say that people shouldn't factor in those aspects of, if you're attracted to so and so, will you, certain body types, features, and if you're into that you shouldn't also consider that. But the number one priority is vulva, because the reality is through the imperfections of life, be they erectile dysfunction, be they women having a lack of desire for sex because their hormones and their body make it so they don't want penetrative intercourse anymore, especially post childbirth. All of that becomes more difficult in the amount of women. But then there's always vulva. And point number three, possibly never heard before, is when you masturbate and get the pussy clarity, and as men, you should use the why I specifically, they either recommend Fleshlight or Doc Johnson. You can use it without the plastic tube, and the point, and you can flip it, back and forth, go through the side of it. The point is that, and women should be using dildos. Women should be discovering and enjoying their body. The point is, when you do all of this, it makes you have a sense of not worrying that much about feeling the urges to need another person in order to activate your body, to get off sexually, to activate that second chakra. It helps you transcend all of that and think like from a more logical and loving standpoint, where you're thinking, well, if I really look at someone, so that's point, was that's point 4, I think. No, it's point 3, is to the aspect of daily consistent masturbation will help free you from these biological limitations of the body being controlled by that appetite, that desire. So then we get into some other interesting stuff where you're looking at whether or not you want a child, and if you do, it's this approach of looking at a person from it's like a new visual lens, where you're looking at them and you're thinking, as a man, you're thinking, would this person be attractive enough to, or excuse me, would this person be strong enough to carry a child, and would they have a healthy, strong child? Like, what's their physical build? We should be thinking of genetically what we want to have our children look like. Like for me, I'm thinking of getting a woman that's like taller than me, like a not like in effect like an Amazonian type of woman. Not too big, because I've heard that people who are too tall, gravity and biology kind of wears them down faster somehow. But definitely, a person who, will, because it's like the practicality of life, being able to do things, anything from changing a tire to different construction stuff to not having, small fingers, or just not being able to easily get damaged. You want to have good, strong genetics. And so looking at a person from that point. And next, point 5, a new way for people to approach the idea of marriage. First of all, that it's spiritual marriage, not legal, because legal, what it ends up doing is it makes you it makes you, it gives the power over to the woman. Now, that's something that you've probably already heard of, but the next idea is that the complementary idea to point number 5 is that so it makes you marriage, right? So the proper protocol for approach. So number 5 will be the approach to women, and then number 6 will be the approach to men. So when men are trying to approach women, and for LGBT, you can kind of get a sense of who wants to be the more masculine, who wants to be the more feminine, or what kind of dynamics you want to have in the relationship. Extra dynamics, I think, help, because to get through the hard times, to know what roles people are going to be playing, and to know what people's strengths and weaknesses are, and what they're planning to have happen. It all makes it it all makes it easier to it all makes it easier to, because this is about having a stable, sustainable relationship and love. So the way you do that is, as a man, if you really think you're spiritually and financially poised to create the life that you want and ready to invite someone in it, I advise people, men, to pretty much, run you're actually financially ready to have kids, then you get into it. And part of this is, and this is going to go into point 7, is that to not be so consumed with material stuff, because when you are, to set up the life that you want, but realizing that the material cost of your life, it's like, if you want to have a stay-at-home wife, which would be good, because that way your wife would be teaching your kids and everything, more than giving it to the government to do, which, okay. But the point, the focal point here is the approach. So the approach is, to when you're certainly ready, you want to actually, the first thing is for the guy to look at the woman. So it's a nonverbal visual interaction, an observational interaction, where the guy looks at the woman, and then she's supposed, and then the other is just like point 6, she's supposed to put the, so it's all about putting the ball in the court. This is a concept I'd like you guys to really tap into, where in any context, maybe it's a job site. If you see a problem, you report it to a higher up. Then it's like out of your responsibility. You know what I mean? Like you report it up, and then it's and then you've given it, to the, and not to say that you shouldn't be conscious of it, but just that it's like putting the ball, passing the ball. So in this instance, you want to be, passing the ball when Okay, so when you're passing the ball, what you're doing is Ah. Like it's in her court, then it's in your court. I don't know otherwise. When it's in her court, then you know the guy initially looks at her. Then her duty is to, if she's interested, is to pose suggestively. You know, make sexual poses, or glance back with a smile, and that invites. And another thing is you should be trying to match up with somebody who's like a realistic match with you. Somebody who seems to be a similar age, similar health, because those are factors that, if you want to live out a whole life together, that you're going to want to be aware of. And so yeah, as it goes, then you may approach the woman, ask them, hi, I'm. You can either tell them, be really clear, like, I'm looking, as the man, you say, I'm looking for a wife, and and some of my personalities include, like, you say this, and this, like the point is it's efficiency, guys. When you're really serious about life and you're really working hard to get ready for marriage, you want to approach the whole situation efficiently. And if she says, yeah, I'm looking for someone, and I'd be interested to talk more, then you could say, well, I'd like to talk with some of the men in your life. Be they male friends, be they her father, her uncle. And this is an age-old tradition. This is like multiple points in one. It's like probably all the way to 10 points right here, because it's about the process. And okay, let's move on from that, because once you talk to the fathers, uncles, and everything, show them interest, then what you do is you can have a email conversation with the woman to discuss details, private aspects of your life, like what do you, sexual matters, sexual compatibility. You can show pictures of each other. You can talk about frequency, duration of sex. By the way, tying back into the whole masturbation discussion, that should emphasize you should know what you want, and you should masturbate at the same frequency that you want to have sex in your life, and organize and orchestrate your life such that when you have a family, you can still engage in masturbation. All right, guys, I'm about to sign out, but it's been a good little chat action here. Let's talk more. Let's talk more. Aloha.